Do you ever just sit and wonder where you would be if you hadn't let the pressure of perfection get to you? Like the progress that you would have made if you had just started 2 years ago, like you said you would have. If you had just gone for that thing that you have always wanted to go for, or done that thing that you knew you were supposed to do. Does it ever cross your mind where you'd actually be by now?
I'll celebrate my freedom, I'm gonna speak up. Speak from my heart, baby. Speak from my soul, sugar.
Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Lerato, and I have decided to stop letting perfection run my life. Hence, I am here talking about the things that matter to me, the things that I think I should be speaking on, which are self-love, confidence, growth, and that sort of thing. So if that's your vibe, definitely do subscribe, and if today's topic interests you, hit that like button as well. Before I even go further with this channel, I do want to explain that I'm not gonna be here positioning myself as an expert. Okay, I'm only 22 years old. I don't know much about this life thing, but rather I hope to cultivate a space for conversation, and to just jog your memory with some things, because I know for sure that I'm not the first person who's gonna be here talking about perfection on these YouTube streets. Okay, but sometimes you just need to hear about it and just refresh your memory yet again. I'm sure at this point you know that perfection holds you back. Like, there's not even a question about it. Fun fact, the reason why I emphasize that this is my brand new channel is because it's not my first one. I've had a channel before that I started in 2021, and as we speak, it is sitting pretty on less than 300 subscribers. I know, right? That's actually kind of sad. Like, how do you start a channel 4 years ago and it's at less than 300 subscribers? It was a reflection of my inconsistency, and that inconsistency was driven by just a desire to put out the most beautiful videos all the time. And because I was just so focused on that, I actually didn't produce enough content with the right frequency, and therefore I didn't really grow as much. Now, that's the thing about perfection. That's the thing about trying to chase perfection and just focusing on how perfect this thing could be. Guys, perfection is overrated, hey? Perfection is seriously overrated. I really like the way in which the world is going in regards to this. We are definitely seeing more people, especially Gen Zs, hey, embracing authenticity, embracing messiness, if you will, and just bringing to light the sort of information that, dude, certain things just don't need to be perfect. Just do the damn thing. It's not nice looking at your life and seeing that you are not at the place that you want to be at, and realizing that it's because of you. It stings, bro. And a lot of the times that has to do with perfection. So definitely just have a little bit in your life, like, where is it that I'm letting perfection hold me back? Because one thing about it is holding you back. Now, we cannot talk about perfection without including anxiety, because one thing about perfection, it will make you anxious. As if there's already not enough in this world to be anxious about. Bro, we are heading to World War III. Trump is wilding. Inflation is crazy. There's just a lot going on. Do you really want to be that person that causes yourself anxiety simply because something that you know is probably beneficial for you is not perfect enough? Do you really want to be that person? I don't think you do. The reason why I say perfection is overrated is because there's literally no time. There is no time. The world might possibly end. The way things are moving right now, I'm under the belief that we are going to the end times, and God forbid this world ends without you shooting your shot, without you starting that YouTube channel and actually continuing it and growing it, without you starting the business, without you doing whatever it is that you want to do in this life thing, all because of trying to chase perfection. No, guys, we cannot afford to. Okay, we need to find another way to go about things, right? Or we need to constantly get reminded that it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be done. And it's okay if you want to include some sort of excellence in whatever it is that you do. I respect that. I also like to do things with a certain level of greatness and just beyond averageness, but it's not always possible. And the only way that you're going to be able to sustain that is if you start where you are and just improve going forward. I promise you, the satisfaction of enjoying a process of something as it unfolds is so unmatched, and it also does wonders for your confidence. I'd like to also just point that out, because part of the reason why you are so self-conscious and your self-esteem is all the way on the ground is probably also because you're constantly chasing perfection. Take the way you look, for example. Every time you decide to put on an outfit or to go somewhere where you know that you're going to be seen, maybe not like school, maybe like to an event, right? To a party, to a date, you putting pressure on yourself to look absolutely perfect is contributing to your low self-esteem, because in so doing, you are subconsciously communicating that I don't look good enough, and therefore I need to chase this image of perfection. So you understand where the self-sabotage comes in with chasing perfection. Now, like I've mentioned before, I'm not here to provide magical solutions. I'm just a baby, I'm just a girl, okay? But this is probably the time where we move on to the solutions part of the video, because these things that I've just spoken about, you probably already experienced, you probably already know, right? So we need to get serious about changing our mindset in regards to chasing perfection. We can't do it anymore. We can't afford to. Time is ticking. The world is gonna bomb soon, like I've already mentioned. Hello. Again, I have said it probably 3 or 4 times, but instead of aiming for perfection, aim for just getting things done. And I'm calling all university students to the front. You see that energy that you apply into your assignments when it is the day before submission, I'm going to need you to apply that energy in almost everything that you do, with a little bit more time depending on what it is that you're doing, because doing things last minute is not always sustainable. Come on now. But just that concept of you doing the assignment to get it done and submitted, that's the type of energy that I'm talking about. And for you working girlies as well, if you know you have a deadline, you push to get things done. That's why it is encouraged to set deadlines for yourself even when you have goals, because you're just like, oh, time is ticking, let's just get this over and done with. Yeah, maybe let's just entertain that mentality more often. Let's just get this thing over and done with. If you want to start a YouTube channel, prop up your camera and your equipment, put the mic in your face, speak, and get it over and done with. That's literally what I'm doing right now. And something that I do want to just kind of throw in there is that you are allowed to give yourself room for mistakes, right? You're allowed to have a few takes before you get in that perfect video, right? Have a rough draft before getting that assignment done, but focus on getting it done nonetheless. Yes, don't do sloppy things, but get it done. And if you get to a point where you realize that, you know what, I'm taking a little bit too much time on this thing, then just submit it sloppily. It's fine as long as it's done. The key here is to just get things done. On that note of allowing yourself to make mistakes, this should be something that you place in the forefront of your mind. I promise you guys, my life is so much better. I feel so much lighter in my body. The colors seem brighter, and there's just that much of a pep in my step the minute that I realize that I'm allowed to make mistakes as a human being. And so are you. Literally. Perfection is rooted in fear. The fear of making mistakes. The fear of making mistakes which comes about from the fear of being perceived in a certain way that is not acceptable to society. Clock that. Okay? So the minute that you decide that you are allowed to make mistakes, it puts this pressure to be perceived in a certain way on the back burner. And I promise you, it's one of the most liberating things you'll ever feel in your life. Just going about your life in a way where you're just like, you know what? I'm probably going to mess up. And if you're between the ages of 16 to 25, 6-ish, 30, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this, but you are going to mess up daily. Every single day there's going to be something wrong that you do. I promise you, no matter how small. So you might as well just get comfortable. You might as well just accept that as your reality and keep it pushing. The fact that you make mistakes doesn't make you a bad person. If anything, it makes you wonderful. It makes you wonderful because the minute that you decide to really just tune into those mistakes and try to figure out what they're trying to teach you, you will be unstoppable. But how do you do that? By accepting them, by welcoming them, and by understanding that the things that you do don't have to be perfect, because they really don't. It's overrated. Like, we've been through this. Now I'm going to close off these videos by giving you guys journaling prompts, simply because I believe in journaling so much. I've been doing it for 5 years, and I would like to encourage you to do the same if you don't already, because I just believe that it is such a great tool of introspection and just improving yourself overall. So with that being said, today's journal prompt is, where have I been pressurizing myself to be perfect? I just want you to identify that one thing or that one aspect of your life where you are just putting pressure on yourself. Okay? I want you to figure out what it is, why it is that you feel like you have to be so perfect, and what it would mean if you allowed yourself not to be perfect, if you just allowed yourself to go with the flow or embrace the mess. Now, with all of that said and done, we've reached the end of the video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Well, if you're at this point, then you kind of enjoyed it. Be honest, be for real right now. So you might as well just give it a thumbs up if you haven't already. Comment down below the areas in your life that you feel like you need to let go of perfection, and also what kind of topics that you would like to hear from me, or like what kind of things you'd like to hear me speaking about. I hope you enjoyed this video. If I didn't already say that, like, I really hope you enjoyed this video. This was kind of nerve-wracking for me, but I'm super proud of myself that I finally did it. It's been a long time coming. But with that said, guys, I'll see you in the next one before I decide to yap on even further. Bye.